Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Aries Only, where I channel messages for Aries only. Today we're doing a reading to get some messages from our guides regarding love. This is the love edition of my message from your guides reading. Subscriber requested, Simran, girl, I got you. This is the reading that you asked me for love advice. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to start by getting some of these. This is my Alana Fairchild Journey of Love deck. I love the messages I'm going to read from the book. And I also have some pre-shuffled oracles to go over later. We're going to get tarot and lots of advice. So pretty comprehensive. I'll try to put timestamps if you want to skip and get to certain parts of the reading. You can feel free to do that. So let's go ahead and see what advice does Aries most need right now. Also, I shuffled a song for you, and it was Wish You Were Here by Incubus. So, what love advice does Aries need right now? Okay. What advice does Aries most need right now? Okay. We have the Void. And yes, just for a moment, Joy. Okay, obviously I saw your pre-shuffled oracle cards, but this is like the vibe that I was getting. And from the song, I'll put that there for a sec. And I'm going to read both of these, because I feel like this is what's resonating. Oh, okay. I just like picked these two up. I'm going to shuffle more of these later, but let's just take a look. I just like this book was like resting on top, and when I picked it up, these two cards came. I almost want to just take these, but let's just, I don't know. No, I really feel strongly to take those. I don't know why. Okay, I feel like that happened for a reason. So let's read number 40, the Void. At the ending of every cycle and the beginning of every cycle, there is a moment of transition. It may last for any amount of time, a moment of feeling, or many years of deep inner work whilst feeling displaced. The transition may require patience to endure the absence of knowing, the lack of certainty about who you are and why you are here on this planet. A void may open up between one moment of meeting with your lover and the seemingly endless stretch of time, even if it is only days that seem as though they are eternal in duration as you wait to reconnect again. Yet, if you can accept that entry into the cosmic void as preparation for your next cycle of manifestation, if you can accept that darkness is holding you with love, not with unfeelingness, then you can relax and let the preparation be what it must be. Then you can be well equipped for the next steps forward on your glorious divine adventure this lifetime, meeting the beloved, whether divine or human lover, in a fresh new moment, excited, open, and curious always, like this card. This oracle brings you guidance. There are parts of your own process unfolding that you simply cannot know about yet. It will not always be this way, but for now it is most helpful for you to only deal with what is immediately before you. All else will be shown when the time is right. There is growing to be done, and then the void will bring forth the next step on your path to meet you. You do not have to worry, and you do not have to search. Be present, be patient. When you can do something, do it. When you cannot, just be. Your time will soon come. If you are holding a question about relationship, surrender it into the void and let it become what it must be according to spiritual wisdom and love. So I like that message. We're going to read the number 46, Joy, because I feel like the vibe that I'm getting is that there's a sense of like impatience and frustration in this void. Perhaps we're like waiting either to meet somebody in general or for a certain person to come back into our lives, somebody that maybe we broke up with, or that a relationship that never got off the ground, somebody that maybe you feel like you have a spiritual connection with, but like in the 3D, they're not like showing you like any evidence of that. It's a vibe like that. So, and we're just like waiting in this void. We're like, okay, I want the next part of my life to start. That's like the vibe that I'm getting. So obviously if that resonates, like you'll know. Just for a moment, Joy. What we feel and express, what we choose at any given time is our offering to the divine cosmic matrix. It germinates and is reflected back to us as a manifestation in this material reality. Can you choose to gentle your heart, to let it be open to light and to life, even if just for a moment? If you are in the midst of darkness or deep suffering, can you find even just even for just a moment, the joy of existence underneath it. It is a wild ride, this life. Every time you open your arms and yes, like that, the universe responds in kind. This oracle brings you a message. In this moment, trust that there is joy waiting to be felt. Should I hold this up? There is joy waiting to be felt and found, no matter how hard that may be to believe right now. Let go of your attachment to the apparent problems at hand as much as you can, and you will be allowing yourself to let the divine take over and sort out what needs to happen here. There is help awaiting your invitation always. Why not let it in and let joy in too? You are being offered divine support to live a less guarded existence, to dissemble yourself a little or a lot, and let your true nature, which is joy, bubble to the surface without rhyme or reason other than just because it lives. So just for a moment, joy. Oh, have some joy if you can. All right, so all right, what is going on here? Guys, I feel like your spirit guides are wanting to give you advice, because the message that I'm getting here, yeah, is that we're just kind of like waiting for the next step. We're waiting for maybe somebody to call until we have our next date or something like that. And until we do, it's like life maybe feels a little meaningless, feels not that meaningless necessarily, but almost like it lacks color. It's like, you know, it doesn't have the same oomph as it normally would. It just feels like we're stuck in limbo. We're like, okay, like when this happens, like my life will begin. Like when that happens, my life will begin. I'm just gonna lay these out. Oh no, it goes this way. But even the song that we shuffled here, Wish You Were Here by Incubus. If you listen to that song, I never really thought about what that song meant, but whenever it comes through in a reading, like obviously I have to like give it some deeper thought. And what are the lyrics to that? It's like he's just describing, he's like, I dig my toes. He's like talking about, he's like on the beach. I dig my toes into the sand. I forget how he says it. Something about, is it the sunlight on the water, the way it looks? Like he calls it like a blanket, something like, I lean against the wind and pretend that I am weightless, and in this moment I am happy. But then it's like, I wish you were here. Like it's only about like, basically just, okay, like what I'm getting from that is that he's having this experience, like this beautiful experience. Oh, I'm seeing like the glittering sunlight on the water, and like, you know, feeling the wind, feeling weightless, just being so happy, experiencing this beautiful like part of nature right now. And it's like all they can think, but it's like thoughts of this person, or thoughts of what it would be like if you had a person and they were there with you, just like infiltrate like every experience that you have, making it feel empty and hollow, and like you're not really living because you don't have a partner, or you don't have that person, or whatever one it is, you know. I feel like or it could even be both, where it's like, okay, I can't have this person, but like nobody else is coming in either. So, you know, what the hell, like kind of like a vibe like that. So it's just sad, because like even in your happiest moments, like there's like this air of sadness, like in the room or in the air, you know. And it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of punctuating every experience that you have as being empty, even if it is like a good experience. Like, so I don't know, that's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting here. Leo, honey, sit down. You want to say hi? Look, say hi, Leo. I'm the cutest doggy in the world. What are the cards that we got here? We have recognition. The divine will help you recognize signs and miracles. We have the peacock priestess. It says, I am enough. Mother, daughter, sister, lover. We have freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. We have nature. And we have 3-3, increase your frequency, higher conscious awareness. So, all right, baby, come down. Come. So what are we getting from this? Okay, this is jumping out at me first and foremost. This freedom card. Leo, you gotta stop, honey. Or come sit on me. Okay, come here. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Look at this imagery on the card. This woman, she's looking up. Kind of reminds me of that joy card. You know, her arms aren't up yet, but it's almost like a feeling of her on her own, like looking around, maybe at like the beauty, like this rainbow, the sunlight, it looks like there's like a sun right there, like seeing the light or something like that. And that's kind of like the imagery on this void card. There's like light at the end of the tunnel. So okay, oh Leo, it's like spirit is telling you, your guides are telling you, not that there's nothing stopping you from getting you to your person, because you can't obviously influence somebody's free will if they're not coming towards you, if they're I don't know, just haven't earned another relationship, if there isn't even somebody there, and you just, there's nobody on the horizon. This isn't saying like, oh, you could just like snap your fingers and have a relationship. No. But like, you can have happiness, you could have freedom from this, all right, honey, from this sort of perpetual sadness that I feel that you're in, because you're lacking a relationship, if you're like watching this reading, or you're lacking a relationship with a specific person. And I think what Spirit's saying is like, even like a happy experience isn't happy if they're not there, because you're equating them with happiness. But in all actuality, happiness is an emotion and they're a person. And it's like, yes, happiness is something you can have right now. Like, you don't need them to be there. Like, it's something that can be cultivated in 100 different ways, not just by this person. But it's almost like you're giving them a lot of power over your life, as if like they're the only person that, or the only thing that can bring you happiness. And I think that's why your spirit guides want to talk to you, because they're like, hey, you could be missing out on like some good stuff here. Also, I'm looking at this card here, the Peacock Priestess. I am enough, and it says mother, daughter, sister, lover. First of all, her eyes look so sad. But I think that what this is saying is there are a lot of other relationships in your life maybe that you could focus on, or a lot of other areas of your life you can um focus and try to experience things with different people, different mother, daughter, sister, lover. I don't think that's necessarily like, you play a lot of different roles, not just as somebody's girlfriend or boyfriend. Like, that's not your identity. Like, you know, your identity is going to be your own identity. It has nothing to do with really anybody else. Like, yes, they're a part of it. Mother is one part, daughter, sister, lover. Those are 4 different relationships that you could have or be to different people, but that doesn't even like scratch the surface of all that you could be defined by. I feel like there's like a message here of, it almost reminds me of, this is like, if you've watched my channel for a while, you've probably heard me speak about this, but it's like the song Love Yours. And one time I got that in a reading right after my sister's fiance passed away. And you can fast forward through this, because if you don't want to hear a personal story, but I do want to tell the story because it was kind of like a big wake up call in my life. But so basically what happened was, my cousin was getting married. She called me to say like, oh, like, are you bringing a +1? You can if you want, you know. And I was like, no, like, you know, I'll just be like third wheeling, you know, with my sister and Sean, like her fiance at the time. And I was like, you know, whatever. Like, at the time I had, you know, I really was into to a guy, but they weren't into me, and I just, you know, couldn't meet anybody else either. Like, you know, this was a couple of years ago, but so whatever, like, she was calling me, I want to say in like March or April, and her wedding was in July. So I'm like, no, I'll be third wheeling with my sister and Sean. So then we like hang up the phone, and I remember I started like hysterical crying, and I'm like, I'm never going to meet somebody. I'm going to be alone at every family function. Like, you know, and it sucks. Like, you know, it isn't fun, you know, going and just being like the only person that never has a date, you know, something like that. So, which is funny because we have this date card here. So I don't know, but anyway, come to find out, like, you know, in a couple months later, my sister's fiance passed away. It was very sad and very tragic. And I remember like whenever it came up that like it was right before the wedding, because, well, it was at the end of May, and the wedding was 4th of July. So it was about like a month before. But I remember like when it came time for the wedding, which I didn't even go, I stayed home with my sister. She couldn't face going to a wedding because like she didn't even get to have her wedding, obviously. But I was just like thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, remember when I was so upset about like not having a date for the wedding? Oh, I have to third wheel with my sister and Sean. Like, meanwhile, like, I would now give anything to be able to like third wheel with them for the rest of my life. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, like I like took that for granted almost. And it's not like this isn't like a tale of like, be careful what you wish for, or like, you know, it's not, I'm not saying it like that. And I don't think the spirit was trying to send me the message that time of like that either, but almost just like, wow, all those times I was like kind of just like feeling down. I could have been like spending more time with people that I love, like mother, daughter, sister, like, you know, all these people, like friends, whoever, you know. It's like there are other options, there are other things that are going to make you happy, and that's what your spirit guides like really want to bring to your attention. Like this, there's a lot about nature here, so maybe you're somebody that really does like nature, or maybe you need nature and the grounding element in your life right now. Maybe your energy is very much like focused on your person. Maybe you're spending a little too much time looking for signs that like this, you know, you're spending too much time either looking for actual like spiritual signs, like is this person coming. You're watching tarot readings. Like something I used to do was shuffle songs all the time, like how are they feeling, like are we ever going to be together. Like it's embarrassing to admit, but like I was like obsessed, like I couldn't think about anything else, like at the time, like it hurt, like I wanted to be with this person, like. And you know, it's like I felt like, oh my God, I'll never, even if I was like, at some point I was like, okay, even if I just meet somebody else, but like I couldn't even meet somebody else. So I'm like, it's like there comes a point where you have to maybe just make your peace. Okay, what if like, I don't think that's necessarily the case, but it's like, what if I really never meet somebody? Just like let that sit for a second. Like, what if I'm like literally single for the rest of my life? I mean, what if that is my fate? And just like almost like get comfortable with it. Not that like that means it's going to be your fate, but just like, you know what, if that happens, then I'll have to deal. I'll have to learn how to like, this is something I did too, but I like to think of my readings as like a like collective therapy session for all of us together. Like honestly, it helps me. I hopefully it helps you guys. But anyway, like it's like I learned how to like, okay, like play tennis by myself by hitting a ball against the wall to like work out and stuff like that. Like to read, to entertain myself. Like I don't know, like find things you can do to like fulfill yourself. Like search for that fulfillment elsewhere, anywhere you can find it by doing anything that you can. Also another thing, if you're still with me, affirmations, Jessica Heslop. I listen to her affirmations when I sleep. One of the ones that I did that I started feeling like really good about myself. It's called which one is it? It's like romance, beauty, and self-love, where it just I started feeling like I look amazing. I started feeling really good about myself. I mean, people were like, "Oh my God," as soon as I started listening, "You look great. Like, what are you doing differently?" Like, I started trying new makeup techniques and getting new stuff to wear, and like just like reusing clothes in different ways. You know, I just started like doing different things, doing my makeup differently, doing my hair different, and I really got into stuff like that and started feeling really good about myself. So stuff like that you can do, but there could be that grounding element that you need, where we need to learn how to like reading, making healthy choices. This is talking about in love and life, self-care, self-love, being happier with fruits and vegetables, gardening, going on the beach like the song was talking about. What else can we do? I don't know, going for a hike, like anything like that, grounding, exercising, getting out of your head, especially if you're like too busy, like looking for signs and things like that. I feel like the person, instead of like being like a source of your happiness, which is how I feel like you see them, or that's how you just feel like they're the only thing that can make you happy, they're actually like a block, serving as a block to your happiness. It's almost like there could be new adventures awaiting, but it's like instead of that happening, it's like you're blocking your own path in a way by just putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. Which maybe you feel like you have no choice. You feel like this is your person and it's like destined and things like that. But if that's the case, it's almost like if it's something is really truly meant for you in this lifetime, it will come to you. But in the meantime, work on like increasing your own frequency and working on your own self-love. So let's start doing the tarot. Oh, one other thing I want to say, there's this episode of Buffy, it's called Beauty and the Beast. I kind of like, I saw these cards and I like looked up this episode right before, and like I fast forwarded to this part to just get this little quote from Buffy. It's just, I like wrote it down on this paper. I'm gonna read it. But it's like, basically, I'll give you a little backstory. It's about her and Angel, who's like her love interest on the show. But I'm not gonna get into their whole backstory, but basically it's a situation like we were talking about, where things had to end, and she's talking to her counselor at school because she's like forced to, like she got expelled, and to get back in she had to like talk to this counselor. So he's like, "Oh, why'd you run away?" He's trying to get the backstory. So she goes, "I loved him, And like already she's like, he's like, tell me about the guy, blah blah blah. She's like, I loved him, and then the guy's like, he changed. And she's like, yeah. And then the counselor's like, he got mean. And she's like, yes. And he's like, and you didn't stop loving him. And then she kind of just doesn't say anything. And he's like, look, lots of people lose themselves in love. There's no shame in it. They write songs about it. He's like, but the hitch is you can't stay lost. Sooner or later, you have to get back to yourself. And she's like, and if you can't, he's like, if you can't, love becomes your master and you're just its dog. And the reason I like want to like say that is because I think a lot of times we can feel like, this is if you're in a specific situation with somebody where, you know, somebody, you knew them and they changed, and, you know, maybe you saw something in them, but the way they treated you really wasn't nice, you know. It doesn't mean they got mean, like they called you mean names or something like that, but maybe they just didn't treat you with basic common courtesy and, you know, respect and politeness. So, and then it's like, you know, but you didn't stop loving them. It didn't change anything for you, even though maybe you even wished it could, you know, but you just couldn't stop loving them. So it's like, you need to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Vociferously? I don't know if that's even a word, but you need to like passionately like chase your own happiness. You need to like passionately chase like getting back to yourself, like no matter what that entails. And that's like reminding me of like, it's actually because it was my 1 year anniversary when this guy that I was talking about with the wedding story, like, I mean, I've been like obsessed with him for how many years, I can't even tell you, but I mean, it's been like a year now since the last time he ghosted me when we had plans, and he just like didn't answer my phone call or whatever it was. So embarrassing, so upsetting. And where was I just going with that? I felt like I had a really good point. Ooh, am I gonna lose it? Wait, oh my god, what was I just gonna say? It's been a year. Oh, and I remember at the time when he first did it, like my friend at work was like, all right, I was like telling her, I'm like, you know, whatever, I think I'm just gonna like delete him off my stuff because like, I just like, I'm sick of this. I don't want this to happen. Like, I want to move on. And she's like, oh, well, then he's gonna think that like you care. And I'm like, well, I think he's aware. Like, I don't think I think the Pope is aware at this point. Like, you know, it's just like, I'm not, but at some point it's like, you need to do what's healthy for you. Like, if you're going to be always like looking to wait for a story from them, like their Instagram story, or see if they snap you, or like, it's going to be like, you know, hindering you from moving on. So don't forget, or don't feel bad, like don't care, like who cares if they think whatever they think, you know, if you're not doing it out of spite. I wasn't doing it out of spite either. Like, if it makes me look petty, who cares how it makes you look? Did they think how it made them look whenever they did to you, you know, if this is about a person? Because like, you should just be worrying about what is like the healthiest thing for you. I just saw the 8 of Cups, you know. And if it's to kind of cut ties with them even on social media or something, because at first I didn't do it because I was like, oh, okay, like I really don't want to look even stupider than I already look, like how embarrassed am I? But what was I gonna say? After like a couple of months, I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna be like posting stuff like, what are they thinking when they read it, like, or what does that mean that they just post it, like, you know, stuff like that, where I'm just like, who are they with another girl, like, are they with whoever, like, who cares at this point? I was like, you know what, I don't care what they think, I just need to like move on from this, and I want to be healthy. So I deleted them off, and like I never looked back, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's not true. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I didn't do that, but I mean, but then I'm like, because it's an unhealthy thing and I want to know what's up with them. But now I don't know. And it's like, as time has gone on, like, it has been better. But yeah, make your own healthy choices here for yourself. Don't care what they think. Don't make them even a factor in your decision-making process. So let's ask some questions. Okay. What is the energy around your romantic life currently? Ooh, 2 of Cups. Interesting. Do you have relationships on the mind? How can you shift it more positively? We have the 9 of Swords. Okay, this is weird. We'll see what it means. What patterns are blocking you from love? We have the Devil. Okay. What is your most valuable asset in love? The 5 of Wands. Okay. Let's go do that. And what is your limiting belief about love? The King of Swords. And how can you increase your magnetism? Oh, that's 2. Let's just get 1. How can you increase your magnetism? We have Justice. Okay, Ace of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. So what is the energy around your romantic life? I feel like you spend a lot of time like daydreaming and fantasizing. The Two of Cups is about your like perfect soulmate. So I feel like you spend a lot of time like imagining what it's going to be like when you're with this person or when you find the right person. Like you spend a lot of time like, you know how this void was talking about, deal with what is immediately in front of you instead of like worrying about what's going to happen in the future. Like it's kind of like you're in this in-between period. So like it's preparing you for the next phase, but it's like you're like living in the next phase already instead of like living in this phase. And maybe it feels like, you know, why do I want to live in this phase? I'm lonely, I'm bored, like I'm missing out on things, like, or even like I'm getting older, like I'm seeing like, oh, now it's like my 30th birthday next week or something like that, or last week because you're in Aries, so last month. So it's like, you know, and I'm not with anybody, or even like what we were talking about, not having a date, or maybe you have tried to get back out there and it's like it just doesn't work out. It's like you're almost trying to force it or something like that. Maybe you tried like online dating or something. So it's like you're trying to get out there. There's this energy of maybe meeting somebody, clink, cheers, like, you know, but it's like not working out. So there is this energy of like, love is on the brain, like big time, like, you know what I mean? Like this is like love on the brain. This is like romantic stuff. I want that, and like it's like I'm chasing it hard, but it's almost like, I don't know, like we can clarify it. Let's see, what is this saying? Temperance, compromise, self-control, and moderation, and the King of Air, knowledgeable, objective, and respected. So I feel like there needs to be a sort of, this is self-control and moderation. So I feel like either we need to take like a more objective, this says objective, but with the King of Swords, I get like, which by the way, we have here as well. With the King of Swords, I get more so a sense of like, maybe you're like getting caught up in like a dizzy spin of fantasies and neglecting other things in your life. It's kind of like, oh, what's that song? Makes you forget all common sense. I don't know what song. Oh, it's Clarity. Oh yeah, it's like that song Clarity by like Foxes and Zed or whatever it is. But it's like that part where it's like, yeah, it makes you forget all common sense. So it's like I feel like you're almost like forgetting all common sense, like not always, but like sometimes it's like maybe you're just like acting, maybe you're just putting too much emphasis on love, on your love life, and there's like other things that need to be like other little details or things that, yeah, other goals that you could have, goals, expansion, vision, investment, assessment, patience. Like I feel like there's other fish you could be frying right now. This says, how can you shift it to more positively with the Nine of Swords? I need to clarify that because I'm a little bit confused. I mean, well, even, no, I'm not. Like, I see this, and it's like, again, she's stuck in her little room. It's like with these journals and, you know, her thoughts and like just worrying and being upset. But it's like, there's like this beautiful sunset outside. You know what I mean? It's like, look out the window. It's like a new day. It's a new opportunity. What's that song? A Beautiful Morning. By the Rascals. It's your chance to have a brand new day. I forgot how it goes, but yeah, it's like you have to like get control of your thoughts. I see the Queen of Swords here, and we also had the King of Swords. You need to get control of your thoughts and do maybe some sort of like I don't know, like, but I'm trying to think, like, be more disciplined with your thoughts, you know? Don't just allow yourself to, you know, think about this person all the time or to think about love all the time. Like, it's like, okay, I have other things I have to worry about. Like, I can think about this maybe a little bit later. I can, how is this benefiting me, like, in a self-love way? Like, I can't, like, it's like you have to, like, not be, again, it's kind of like this Buffy thing that we were talking about, where it's like the hitches, you can't stay lost, you have to get back to yourself. It's like, you know, you have to like really be disciplined, be like, no, this isn't healthy for me right now. Like, and if I am preparing for the next phase of my life, the next you know, my next relationship, like I need to start doing things now maybe to like prepare myself. Like I can start working out, I can start like reading more books, so I have like interesting stuff to talk about on our dates. Like I can start having new adventures, like this is talking about. Like so I have like, maybe I can have the chance to meet somebody in a more natural way, like chase my happiness, and then maybe it'll naturally happen instead of like, I feel like there could be some forced online dating things going on here. So I think Spirit's like, we need to maybe like just like live and let these things happen naturally. Like, you know, you're chasing happiness, but like you could have it right now in a more subtle way. So the next question was, what patterns are blocking me? And it's like, this says the devil. So the devil is all about like addictions. So it's like, I feel like that could be a thing where maybe you're getting a little bit too caught up. I didn't really need to clarify that. It was the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like it's like more, yeah, like an addiction. So that's like an obsession. Like it's like a toxic thought pattern. It's like a toxic behavior. So whether this could be, what is the pattern that's blocking you? This could be referring to the fact that you're getting caught up in like with a toxic person that is exhibiting toxic behavior, ghosting, obsession with material things, maybe they're like a player or whatever, and it's like something like that. So it's like, what pattern's blocking you? Maybe a penchant for somebody that really isn't good for you. And it's almost like, what episode of Buffy was I just watching? Conversations with Dead People, where he's like psychoanalyzing her in the graveyard. But it's reminding me of that, where it's like, oh, because it's reminding me of father energy with the devil and the Ten of Pentacles. Even that does look like an old father, grandfather. Maybe you have issues with a parent, and it's like, you know, there needs to be some deep work where you maybe even talk to a therapist and try to get to the bottom of like where this is stemming from. And are you trying to even like block yourself from having love, like something, you know, happiness, let's just say happiness, from having happiness by maybe like latching on to something that isn't really going anywhere, where there are like a lot of red flags. It's almost like the cat scratching, trying to tell them like there are these feelings, there are these signs, but maybe you're having a tough time like listening to it, I mean. But yeah, the Chariot, willpower, victory, recognition. Maybe just, oh look, Three of Swords, sorrow, forgiveness, healing. Maybe just accepting the fact that, you know, if this person is going to even be a part of my life, they would have to change. Or if this is a pattern that I need to break, I need to really have my eyes wide open. Recognition, this says, and we have recognition here as well. So the divine will help you recognize signs and miracles. You could be maybe trying to, like, the divine or your spirit guides could be trying to send you signs of like, hey, like, you know, about like maybe other like happier things, but you're equating like every sign with like your person, if that makes sense, and stuff like that. So I think Spirit's like, we need to like put the focus back on you and make ourselves the center of the universe. I am enough. Like, it's almost like your person is like here in the middle, and I always think of like, it's like, this should be like, this is you in your life, and it's like, oh, like my family, my friends, my job, my boyfriend, my money, my this, whatever, my hobbies, my interests, you know, whatever. But it's almost like this person is here and you're almost like an extension of your person, but it's like your life, you know what I mean? You have to like kick them out of the spot, like do that, like a visualization exercise of that, like crawl back up this leg, this spoke that I'm just, you know, pretending to draw here, and just like get into the center and just be like, hey, bah, and do like a karate kick, get out of here, and like take back the center of your life, you know what I mean? That's just like a little visualization you could do. And then you can brainstorm like, how can I do that actually? Like, you know, how can I like enjoy my time with people more? Like, because I feel like a lot of times you just feel like you're missing out on life because you just wish your person was there, like the song. What is your most valuable asset? We have this Five of Wands energy. So, I mean, that's not surprising. There's like Aries, that's like an Aries energy to me. It's like a competitive energy. I feel like, let's see what we have here. Oh, that's too many. But yeah, I feel like you could like take this experience and turn it into fuel, use it as fuel to like better yourself. The Five of Wands is like a very competitive energy. It's like changing what you're doing. Like, it's like using, that firepower within you to like take action to like better your life and change your life. I feel like that is a very good asset that you have that could help you in this situation. Let's see what else. Anything you can clarify for Aries' most valuable asset? We have the Page of Wands. Yeah, creative, enthusiastic, motivated. Yes, it's exactly that. Look, the Magician, manifestation, empowerment, preparedness. Like, you can use this as fuel. Like, what do you want to do? What are your dreams? Like, really think, besides this person in love, like other dreams that you could maybe focus on. And probably while you're focusing on them, bam, that's when like it's going to happen, you know? And if not, you know, maybe like, what if you knew, what if like at the beginning of your life, a little angel came down to you and was like, hey, you, just so you know, like, you're not gonna really have, you're gonna be like single like for the majority of your life, but you're gonna help so many people because you're gonna have all this extra time on your hands to do this and that. I mean, yeah, you're gonna fight against that. You're gonna be sad, but I don't get love, like I don't get like a partner, like, but it's like if you knew you were gonna like be some sort of beacon of light in the world, or create some great business, or let's see, get some money and, you know, be like a boss bitch, or, you know, some other dreams or wishes of yours could come true, you know, like that would be cool too, you know, like have like a sanctuary for like Pomeranians. It's one of my dreams. um and like just I don't know, like do some cool shit in the world that isn't related to love. Yeah, it is kind of sad, but very sad actually, and very disappointing if that's what your dream is. But I don't know, like, I mean, if that was the worst thing in the world, maybe if you just like make your peace with that, it won't be hold so much weight and like fear over your life anymore. The King of Swords. Let's see. This is about the limiting belief that you have. Planning, partnering, progress. King of Swords. It's like you feel like you have to do all the work. I think that's your most limiting belief. You don't believe that like anyone, like things can just happen to you and people can come to you. It's like you feel like you have to be planning and plotting and figuring things out. But I think Spirit's like, no, we got that. Like you need, right now you need to like rest and chill and just like find your happiness and peace within you. That's what they want you to do. They want you to like go to the ocean and stick your toes in the sand and like chill. They want you to chase your own happiness and freedom and things like that. They want you to eat good food so you feel better about yourself, you know? They're like, you don't need to figure this out. And your limiting belief, I think, is that it's something to do where it's like, yeah, it's like no one will ever just like see you for what you are. Like you'll always be disappointed in other people, so you always have to take the reins or something like that. I feel like no, yeah, recognition again. You feel like no one will ever recognize you, and maybe there's something about this person, if this is a person, where you felt like they saw something in you, or they really recognized you or appreciated who you were when other people didn't, and that's why this hurt so bad that it didn't work out, because you're like, well, if they didn't, nobody ever will. But that's not true, like, you know? And it's like maybe even in a romantic way, like there are other people that do recognize that in you. And maybe not, you know, sometimes like our families are assholes, let's be real. We love them, but they're assholes, you know? And they can't recognize it in us either because they have their own issues. Especially people that are super spiritual. I feel like a lot of times you can like be like the black sheep of your family and stuff like that. So maybe this is like, you know, hurting you on like another level where it feels like, you know, nobody loves me and I thought I finally found someone that was going to love me. But it's like, that's why maybe this says I am enough. Like all these people, like you have to like, maybe it would be good for you to kind of get to a point where you're like, I really don't need anybody and it's just gravy. Like everyone else is just gravy and I don't need anybody, kind of a thing. Because it's like you feel like you're always disappointed in people. Yeah, success, recognition, enthusiasm. Just get happy, like be the star of the show in your own life and like try to get happy with that, you know, and not need anybody else or expect anything else to ever come along. And then when it does, it'll just be a pleasant surprise. It'll just be gravy on top. So the icing on the cake, so to speak. And then we have Justice here. This is how can you increase your magnetism? I would say by becoming more balanced, more level-headed. This is the Two of Air now. Again, that's like two swords, like balanced out. It says indecision, avoidance, and confusion. But sometimes I see that as like the balancing of the mind. I feel like your mind is like all over the place. And I feel like how can you increase your magnetism? By realizing that like things don't happen to you just, it's almost like I'm thinking about like life isn't fair. like you think life isn't fair, and you're kind of you have that attitude and you're carrying it with you, and it's like holding you down. Increase your frequency. We have to release this lower self. We have to this says masculine twin on it too, so it's like releasing that and realizing that maybe they're just like dragging you down and again creating a block for you. So how can you increase your magnetism? By, I think you can do that by just trying to realize that life, not even that life isn't fair, but life is what you make it, and you have to make different choices, not better choices. There's nothing better or worse. Like you are where you are right now, and there's nothing wrong. Maybe you have been trying to do this. Even this isn't like some revelation. Oh, by the way, like don't think about this person all the time. What a great idea. What a novel idea. Yeah, it's something we hear all the time from maybe like our mother or sister, whoever. And it's like, okay, like I would if I could. It's very frustrating. You know, it's not about just make, well, you can't think about them all the time. You have to make a better choice. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what your spirit guides are saying. But it's about like evaluating what you have been doing and thinking like, okay, like, yes, like I wish I could get over this person, but am I also like looking at their social media like constantly throughout the day? Like, is that helping me to like move on from this? Is that helping me to like be healthier and not think about them? No. Am I like watching, 5 tarot readings a day about them? Again, like maybe it just makes me feel comforted. I'm telling myself that, but in reality it's keeping you stuck. I could have been cleaning my room. I could have been hanging out with my friends, just like me. Like I could have been hanging out with my sister and Sean back in the day instead of like sitting at home crying about this person. Like, it's just, it is what it is, like you make mistakes sometimes. This isn't like an I told you so. Or like, oh, you should be doing better. But it's like, just try to recognize, try to like see, is there something I can do? Honestly, is there a way that I could like free up my energy a little bit? How can I do that? I mean, I think spirit wants you to be start being fair to yourself. It's spirit, you're thinking life isn't fair, but I think spirit's like, are you being fair to yourself? Are you even giving yourself a chance to like get over this person? Maybe, I know there's like this customer that I wait on because I'm a waitress, where it's like they were together when they were kids and they just recently got married. They're like older, and they told me like they separated, they got married to other people for like 20 years, and then now they're back together. I know that sounds terrible, especially if you're like so in love with somebody. It's like, 20 years. But like maybe it's meant to happen that way. Maybe they just don't have the capacity right now to give you what you need. Let's get some advice, guys. Okay. What advice do you need? We have yes. Just say yes. Oh my god, I spilled coffee on this card. We have say yes to life. Like that's just for a moment joy. It says something about saying yes. Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. I feel like there's more going on underneath. There's some things that you have to look at within yourself that you're not wanting to see or not wanting to acknowledge. We have Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. Maybe go get your Akashic records read, something like that. That could be cool. Ooh. Leap, you go first. The universe will catch you. Again, like leave this behind if you can. All right, that's too many. I just want one more. What other advice for Aries? We have Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine, honor, protection, and support. Make sure we're saying yes to life and to adventure, but saying no unless they're coming in this energy, in this sacred masculine energy, honor, protection, and support. Break the chain. Know the difference. Don't dim to fit in. Don't put yourself down to like accept subpar behavior here. Like take a look at the way this person is treating you. Is that the way that you want your person to treat you? And even if it's not like a person and it's someone from the past, is that the way that like, make sure you're really like walking your talk, making healthy choices with the next people, and you're ready to like say no to subpar behavior and to ghosting and to like, oh, I don't have a car because blah blah blah, or I don't have my shit together because of this, or like I'm not ready for commitment because I've been hurt. Like, okay, who hasn't been hurt? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just an excuse. That's someone that wants to stay stuck, and that's fine for them. God bless. I wish you all the best in that path, but like that's not what I want. Like learn to be like, okay, recognize, use like the let them method, so you don't get caught up in trying to like change people. I feel feel like this reading is going on so long. I'm so sorry. Let's just get some advice here, and then we're going to closing out this like reading. Okay. You must focus on yourself, feel as good as you can, and make the relationship with yourself a priority. Do this and everything else will fall into place. It's just, no, I'm sorry, that's too many. What is advice for Aries? Oh, look at that. Tell yourself I support me and everyone else is just gravy. Knew it. Yes. Stretch to release those muscles to release stuck energy. Okay. There's always room for improvement. Always. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just take the next step. And look, this, maybe you're not too sensitive. You're just surrounded by assholes. Maybe this person is an asshole. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be like almost like romanticizing. And is it good to romanticize your life and trying to find the, sorry, I'm just like doing that because it's like leaning against me. And to find the beauty in things, yes. But like, does that mean like if you have a bunch of like garbage in your room and like rotting food, you're like, oh, I love that mold is really a beautiful shade of green? No, sometimes like an asshole is just an asshole and we want to romanticize them, but they're like moldy bread. You know what I mean? And like maybe they do have some sort of potential inside of them, just like we all have good and bad parts of ourselves. Maybe they did see something in you and you saw something in them and like they were funny and they were kind and you thought whatever, but then they didn't treat you good and they were an asshole. And then maybe almost like you feel like there's something wrong with you. No, like that's not you. That's they maybe you're just an asshole. Maybe they are like a, you know, they were like a good, you know, great when you knew them or when you know them, whatever, or you didn't realize certain things about them. Maybe they were like a good person, but not really a good person to date, even that, you know what I mean? So it's like, whatever, like don't blame yourself. Sometimes people are just an asshole. Everything you went through was to illuminate the right and wrong way to do things. Especially say that like this thing with my person was gone for like 4 years. I don't know. When did it start? In like 2020, I want to say. So yeah, 4 years. I'm finally like just getting over it now. Like we never even really dated. Like it's embarrassing. Like I feel like a loser like sometimes, but I don't. Like I like forgive myself. I really felt something strong. Sometimes you feel something strong. Sometimes somebody has cheated on you 100 times and why do you keep taking them back? Everyone wants to ask you, do you feel that love? Sometimes I don't know, like things like that happen and you just need to forgive yourself. You had to like figure it out for yourself in that way. Who cares? No, it's no one else's business. Let loose a little bit and have some mindless fun. Yeah, it's time to chase that joy, chase that fun, girl, guy. Like we gotta have fun. We gotta have like, you know, start working out. You'll feel so much better about yourself. Listen to those affirmations. I'm gonna link that video. Jessica Heslop, just in case I forget. I won't forget. Jessica Heslop. It's like romance, self-love, and beauty. Fierceness and vulnerability both have a place in you. You need to like lay down the law. No, that's not acceptable. Say no. Like if someone's treating you bad, actually no. You know, if this person tries to come back, like, or you start dating someone, you think you'll like them, but there's those red flags and they're kind of ghosting you. No, it's not okay. You want someone that's going to be on their game all the time. So it's time to spice things up and, you know, make your life about you again. Do that exercise. Kick them out of the circle and jump back in. No, this is my life. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This reading was so long, sorry, but I hope you enjoyed it. Tried to make it super long because I know I haven't posted in a little while, but I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. I'll catch you in the next reading. Okay, guys? Bye.